Hello everyone, myself Ncert from Ncert Medical College. Today we are going to start with page number 121, chapter 10, NCERT Biology class 11, cell cycle and cell division. Now coming to the phases of cell cycle, broadly it is divided into interphase and M phase. You have to remember this because in trick type of question you might confuse, they might give you other options like G1, G0, S, etc. But in broad sense this is interphase and M phase. Now this question have been asked previously also, that is, for example, can progress a cell cycle only about 90 minutes about yeast. So you have to remember, and this cycle is very important for image based question. You have to remember it sequentially: G1 as G2, then prophase, metaphase, anaphase, telophase and cytokinesis, and this falls under this heading M phase. And while the interphase consumes about 95%, so in your diagram you write here 95% and here 5%, so that you do not get confused when they ask about other question, which I will show you in next few minutes. Now coming back to the text. Now M phase represents the phase when the actual cell division or mitosis occurs, and interphase represents the phase between two successive M phases. So now let's understand this thing. This is the entire interphase, this is M phase. So in between two M phases there is one interphase. So these definitions are very important, and G0 phase is not cell, is not dividing. So you have to remember it like that. In MCQ, MS-based MCQ, they will ask you about this point, this point, this point. So you have to get a clear view or concept about this thing, this interphase and M phase. Now this question have been asked previously about the human cell. Now 24-hour average duration of the cell cycle in human cell. So you have to remember this. Yeast earlier I have mentioned, now it is 24 hours for human. Now cell division proper lasts for only about an hour. Duration of the cell of a human cell. The cell division properly lasts only of an hour. So you have to be very clear that here it is mentioned duration of the cell cycle is 24 hours, but division lasts for 1 hour. You should not get confused between the terms. So you have to be very clear about these terms, that cell cycle is 24 hour, but the cell division only for about an hour. So as I have mentioned earlier, that 5% and 95% wala concept, so this concept is applied here only. Now M phase starts with the nuclear division, that is karyokinesis. Earlier I have told you that nucleus is also called a karyon. So karyokinesis, nucleus is divided. The nuclear division corresponds to the separations of daughter chromosome, and usually ends with the division of cytoplasm, cytokinesis. So nuclear division, karyokinesis, cytoplasm division is cytokinesis. You have to remember the terms. They have asked this multiple times in your MCQ, so you have to remember this. Now the interphase is further divided into G1 phase or gap 1, S phase, synthesis phase, G2 phase, gap 2, and you have to remember this in sequence so that you do not miss the substances which are synthesis in this phase, which are replicated in this phase. Now coming to the phases individually, it's a G1 phase. The cell is metabolically active and continuously grows, but does not replicate its DNA. So you have to be very clear about the G1 phase. I'm sorry guys, the G1 phase corresponds to the interval between the meiosis and initiation of DNA replication. So you have to get this you have to understand this. The G1 phase is metabolically active but DNA replication does not take place. So G1 phase is the phase between mitosis and the initiation of DNA replication. DNA replication will take place in synthesis phase. So you have to remember, in synthesis phase, actual DNA replication takes place. Now DNA doubles, but the number of chromosomes remains same. So if two number of chromosomes or twice n, that is diploid chromosome, they will remain as diploid, but the content of the DNA, if it was 2, it will become 4. And this example has been asked previously multiple times during S phase. They will give you the number of chromosome, number of DNA, and they will ask you what happened afterwards. So you have to remember this. Sorry guys, I'm not well actually, so I'm extremely sorry. Now in animal cells during S phase, DNA replication begins in nucleus and the centriole duplicates in the cytoplasm. In animal, it is mentioned that centriole duplicates in cytoplasm, but remember guys, in plants doesn't have the centriole, so how does they replicate? So you will get centriole like substance or substances present in the cytoplasm. in plant cell. So you have to also remember that thing also. During the G2 phase, proteins are synthesized in preparations of mitosis while cell growth continues. You have to remember this. Thank you. Please like, share and subscribe.